What's up, guys? Welcome to Mike Yourself, and this is the review weekend of the month. Let's take a look at a couple of parts that we installed, and let me share with you my experience with them so far. Damn it! Alright guys, so we had kind of a big month. We did a lot of updates or upgrades, modifications to Blue, our '07 Road King, and one of those modifications was swapping out the visors from the stock visors to these thicker ones. So if you remember, if you look back at the video, when I replaced this headlight, it actually gave it kind of this bulgy, and I call it the Mike Wazowski headlight look. And so these have been swapped out. The bike needs to be washed, so they are dirty, but overall I gotta say these things, they came out great. At the same time, or not the same time, but a little bit afterwards, I put on the turn signal style visors, and that really did come through. Like that worked out well. All relatively great priced, and we did the rear ones as well. They aren't exactly the same, so they don't match this style, and that's just because it wouldn't make sense too much back there. But on the front, these trim rings, they came out great. Let's check out the back ones real quick. So you can see the back ones are a little bit different in that it's equal all the way around. It doesn't have like that visor, or almost like the bill of a cap. So as far as visors go, I'm gonna start linking all of the stuff in the description for these reviews, so that way again you can get the same thing that I got if you're interested in. The metal seems to be great. Again, there was a little bit of trickiness to getting this to fit. That's covered in the video, so if you want to know how I got it to work out, just go ahead and watch that. As far as the gaps go, with the method that I used to mount this, I've got no gap around the bulb or at the base of the ring. However, on these ones, there is a gap there. And same thing with these ones. Now the ones on the back, they're a little different in that they're not the pinch style. They actually, they kind of have a screw that goes through them, so you don't end up with that same gap. So those are the visors. Another thing we wanted to do was relocate our license plate, so we had the billboard style license plate that was along that bar there, and it to me was just an eyesore. The other thing I didn't like about it is the luggage rack, and I had one that came with this bike. When it mounts, it sits kind of high. It just, because it's got to clear that license plate, and it really takes away, I think, from the profile of the bike. So moving it down was a sure win, and for the price, it was relatively priced. Again, I'll link in the description. But yeah, it takes a little bit of effort to get it on here. I think I mentioned in the installation video that the edges of this thing are sharp, so if you don't want to cut yourself like I did, I would recommend filing them down. The one thing that, if I was going to say a fault of anything, is they gave you a foam pad that this thing is supposed to stick to, and it doesn't stick to it. But I have the foam pad there to protect it, I guess, from this, but I mean, it's not even on there, so if anything, maybe it vibrates. I don't know. Not a big deal to me, but it's a little bit of a process to install. Not hard to do. Check out the video. Definitely one thing that you'd want to do. Just makes the bike look a lot better instead of having that billboard sign up there. And if you want to reuse that, you can do it. Maybe you're part of a club, something like that. And when I say club, like a car club, where you have a placard, then you can use that area for your placard instead. The eBay stretched saddlebags. So when I got my bike, it was the Road King Classic, which had the leather bags, and I like those bags too. They look great, but I love these stretched bags. Now, These are the 5-inch stretch bags. They only came in, I want to say it was like 3 colors. It's like black, white, and denim or something like that. But you can find other people that make them in multiple colors. So really, you just need to do your homework. They're all out there. The the velvet black ones are the best priced ones. There's a whole bunch more out there. So yeah. Now the look of it again looks great. I love how they wrap around the exhaust. They go pretty low, and they really do just make the bike look really cool, especially if you're going after that lowered look. So I need to extend my rear fender a little bit. Maybe that'll be another video. Got to figure out how to work that out, because this is a little bit older fender, so I can't just get the simple extension like you could if you had the newer style frame and everything. But the bags are great. The quality of the bag has not been a problem. The bag quality feels the same as my Harley Davidson Road Glide stock ones. Now, because this is the extended bag, you do get the extra room. It's all right. It's not too bad. I've actually been thinking about doing the same thing for the Road Glide. I just haven't decided on it yet. I definitely want to get the interior pockets so I can put like registration and stuff like that in here. And then you'll have to replace your locks. You don't have to. I would recommend it going with the screw style instead of the quarter turn, just for safety reasons. But yeah, they lock great. And what's really cool is because normally with an 07 you'd have the very big latch here on this side, so you had that like flip up deal. This is the new style bag on the old style bike, so that really pays off. The only thing I don't care for on these saddlebags is the giant red reflector, so I'm going to look to replace that at some point. It doesn't make sense to have the red reflector and then have smoked out lenses, so that's got to get resolved. But all in all, the bags look great. If you don't care for the color not matching or whatever, you get them painted, right? So you can get it color matched, especially if you have kind of an off-colored bike or whatever, or maybe you have some pinstriping that you need to get included in it. So it came as a total complete kit, so I didn't have to buy the lids or anything separately. So I'll put that link in the description as well. Again, I think it's another great buy. The paint quality's been good. I've got no problems with them. So our last item that we're covering in this review of the month, and that is our cheap eBay seat. Now, I had a couple of problems with it, having to do with the little clip in the front, so that's been resolved with a very cool tool. And yeah, it fits great. I like how it looks. I like how it follows the kind of the lines of the bike. Don't get me wrong, my Mustang seat is awesome. That seat feels really good on longer rides. And that said, if I go on any rides basically longer than an hour or so, I'll probably swap out the seat to the Mustang seat. So this is more like a bar hopper seat for now, and that is because I can tell you that the foam on the seat doesn't even compare, doesn't even stand up next to the Mustang foam. So what I may end up doing is kind of checking around locally. There's a couple of upholstery shops near where I live to see what they would charge to swap out the foam that's in this one to something that's a little bit higher quality. I would imagine it's probably going to be far less than what I would pay if I were to buy a brand new, say, Saddleman or Mustang seat. So for the price, this isn't too bad. I got the look, and the biggest thing that I was after was getting a thinner seat because of my my leg reaching, right? So I did have the lowering blocks, and if I addressed that problem because it was rubbing my back fender. And if you do have the extended bags, I would just warn against lowering your bike permanently, meaning using blocks instead of using an air suspension, because those things are low, man. You hit a corner too fast or too sharp and you're gonna scrape bag. So heads up. Yeah, but back to the seat again. I think this seat was a great buy, super cheap, and the material is not, stitching is not coming undone. Um, it's not tearing or anything like that. Again, it's still pretty new, so time will tell. But ultimately, again, for a bar hopper seat, I think it's a great deal. All right, guys, so that concludes our review for this month. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you know, the information, the feedback I'm giving you on these products helps you make your decision and determine whether or not you want to make that purchase. Again, some of these products I find for a very, very low price, and it's kind of a me testing it out to see if it's even worth the money. If you're worried about quality and all that stuff, learn from my experience, and I'll share with you an honest, you know, review of it. And if it's not worth the while, I'll let you know. And if it is, hey, you know what? You just found the same thing you were looking for a lesser price. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, become a subscriber. I'd love you to be a part of our community. Share your input as well. And if you don't want to miss it on that next video, hit the notification bell, and until that video does post, I hope to see you in the win.